Let's check out the final 2 floors for Celestial Tower.
7K Dreamer, please.
So I'll start with my hero building, Taka. He's basically like how you will build him for World Boss, except for his jewel. If you can give him skill cooldown with a Lethal Red Guild in buff, I think that will be much better, but my guild buff is not Lethal Red, so I gave him a Lethal Red jewel. Then for Heavenlier, same as previous videos, recovery skill and life steal very important for the jewels, and Guardian Ring is super crucial. Rachel, Guardian Ring as well, and PvE defense jewel, not necessary but it'd be good to have, as well as a life steal. So yeah, Guardian Ring is super important. And then for Ace, also Willful or Guardian Willful Ring with evasion. I think that will be very good for him. Basically, you want your front line to be very evasive and also have their shields. Eileen, Willful Ring with evasion. PvE defense jewel is also good to have on her, and of course front line must have good armor. So here we'll start with floor 39. There's Evan, which increases defense of all allies by 50%. There's Ace, he increases damage inflicted on you by 50% and decrease your defense by 50%. There's Dripu, who has 7x Void Shield. There's Rin, who has 12 hit Void Shield and increased magic attack by 50%. And there's Wukong, who revives and summons avatars. So that would be the most annoying part that you have to deal with every time he dies. For Masteries, since you are using Taka, your 130 has to be flipped down because you're using his 5-man AoE more often than the single target this time. So we'll start off the run with a Phoenix to reduce the damage that you can possibly take and also reduce the enemy's defenses. And then it will be followed by a Blossom Strike. Basically, this is going to be the same tactic that is going to happen in both floor 39 and floor 40. I use Blaze here to charge up my Awakening Gauge for Rachel so that I can get the buff in critical damage and lethal damage faster. And after this, it is purely about spamming Taka skills. So as mentioned, we'll be using the 5-man AoE instead of the single target because his 5-man AoE can also do a lot of damage. And while waiting for time to pass, I just use his single target to try to kill off single heroes one by one. Ace killing Ace here. So once that is down, you will actually do a lot of damage. And here Wukong revives. So one easy way would be to use Heavenlier's buff reduction. This immediately kills off all the clones, and then you can single target the remaining Wukong. So moving on to round 2, start off with the same. Here I'm using Blossom Strike first to get rid of shields as much as I can. Then I'll use a Phoenix. So do know that there's no Amelia here, so I'm very susceptible to CC, and there is a chance that your Taka may be CC'd. And there's also a chance that Rin will shuffle your formation. However, not to worry, I think Taka is still strong enough to be able to bring down the opponent no matter which position he is at. The only thing you have to be careful is that once he's shifted to the front, there's a very high chance that he'll be a very easy target. Okay, so that is the only problem you have to take note of. If he is at the back line, then you don't have to worry so much because he will rarely be the target. So in the final round, same thing. I'm taking a more conservative approach. Of course, if you don't believe in, casting Phoenix, casting your Blossom Strike, you don't have to. Of course, you can just straight away use Taka's attacks. No, not a problem right there. Of course, you have to remember that there are shields that you need to get rid of. Very fortunately, my Awaken skill targets Wukong, so his clones won't get to spread around the field. I think I took slightly longer at this part, which shouldn't be the case, and I'm sure there are much faster ways around this. Initially, I planned to use Eileen's top skill to remove Rin's shields. Then Taka, will actually hit more targets. But Rin's shield was still up when I used his Wing Cutter. And now that I actually recasted Rachel's Phoenix, Ace's passive won't be so important. So he's dead, but it's fine. I got all the defense drop that I need. So we are going to floor 40, the final floor. We have Aquila, who decreases all damage received by 60% and lives on 1 HP. And she also she also inflicts 2500 damage on every third attack received. And for Orly, 5-time immunity. For Cow Heron, full block and also decreased damage received by 40%. For Platine, very annoying, Natural Blessing for 4 turns. And for Ares, she will not take damage more than 30% of max HP and also decreases cooldown for her team. There's also Theo, who is zombie at round 1. And also Evan, who increases defense at round 2. So these two are special ones that you need to take note. So same strategy, Phoenix, Blossom Strike and Wing Cutter. Put up all the necessary debuffs that you need in order to do a lot of damage, then go for Wing Cutter. You may choose to decide to actually reduce Platine's Natural Blessing first before going in with Wing Cutter so that you will maximize the spread damage for Wing Cutter. So while waiting for Taka's skill to cool down, you can use any other skill that you have. But of course, keep in mind whether you need the skill for the next round, because you don't want to have a situation whereby you use the skill now and then in the next round you realize you don't have that skill to be used. Then you'll face some issue or even some delay in your clearing. So I've ended off the round 1 with Tavernier's bottom skill because it can remove Theo's zombie, okay, and also definitely kill off the 1 HP Aquila. Over here I start off with Blossom Strike. And then I actually decide to go for Totem Tens to kill off 1 target. So I left 4 targets on the field, and I can guarantee that my block nullification will hit the Cow Heron. So once you have nullified the block on Cow Heron, a lot of damage will be done, and that is totally what you need. Okay. So Akila is super annoying because she stays on 1 HP, and all I want is just, you know, the additional speed attack or lethal attack to kill her off. Round 3, I'm starting off with Blossom Strike because my Phoenix is still on cooldown. Hopefully not a lot of damage will be done to me, but I think it's fine because your shields actually renew every round, so I think you can totally be safe. Again, I'm using the same strategy, basically use Totem Tents to clear one enemy, ensure that my block nullification is going to hit all 4 remaining targets, so that my Cow Heron is going to be block nullified. So this will ensure that he takes the maximum amount of damage Taka is about to put up. And over here, I choose to use Heaven's Awakening skill to reset Wind Cutter so that I can, you know, quickly do one more Wind Cutter and not waste so much time trying to use other skills to wait for the skill to be ready. And unfortunately, Platoon survives. So I have to deal with him singly, and then I have to deal with Akila singly as well. So yeah, this was my final floor. I hope it is helpful for you. I think there are ways to get a much faster timing. There are people who use the same team and also got around 4 minutes, cleared in 4 minutes. So that's all for Celestial Tower. All the new floors have been covered, and clear your Celestial Tower as soon as you can to get more gold. If you found this video useful, do give it a like and do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.